quote-unquote bad Centaur matchup, then he just does fine in the lane anyway.
Ooh.
Okay, that's his hero.
Same idea of disengaging the Doom.
Okay, I was thinking this because this is what we saw in the game you were referencing, Brian, where they would disengage the Doom with the Venge swap in the shield. But I just don't see this as an Amar hero at all.
I like what OG brought to this draft. This draft looks very similar to that game 2 yesterday where they recovered against Gaiman. Similar kind of Nyx setup where I feel like if they just get through lanes on even footing and can make that one recovery fight in that 10 to 15 minute mark and get the Nyx's levels, that their scale is really terrifying.
I'll tell you right now, they are not getting through the lanes on even footing.
No, they are not.
They are losing out in CS, and now it's also to be said that they have their off-lane duo is 2 heroes that will be able to just produce farm out of nothing, right? Devour and Mana Burn constantly. So over time, there actually should be, you know, start eclipsing their counterparts. Amar's going to be in trouble. Telekinesis toss back onto 2 supports, but it doesn't alleviate the problem, which is numbers. OG brought 3 heroes up to the top lane to kill Amar.
Once you just start getting more stats, you get more universal damage. Though BZM running around like this is definitely not very good for his game. He has spent a lot of time.
Burrow Strike comes out just in time. On an overextension makes things a lot easier. They're going to go back to it with the Invoker rotation on the 7-minute Wisdom Rune. Are they going to be here in time with the Monkey King jumping down? They'll get it. Tomato hops in, hits the 2-man stun, and steals away the Wisdom Rune. They'll get a kill on Amar as well, as Tomato claims that last hit. Very nice swing for OG there.
That is a move I think you could have just made with the Invoker instead of looking for that earlier gank. And it does work out there for OG. They get what they came for. Monkey easily able to rotate in there. You do lose your own Wisdom Rune.
Yeah, Maureen is doing something similar here, diving into Whisper. Whisper hoping that the spam of lightning was going to be able to keep the aggression at bay, but it does not. 3-2, Falcons up by just a small amount of network, nothing too major. Seb has come back to the bottom lane where they tried to go on Whisper, and they're still going to go on Whisper here with Maureen showing up. Good cookie to get him out of the sandstorm. Seb takes a bit of damage as well. Ari's actually going to come in with Tomato coming in from behind as well. A bit of split focus here from OG. Can they get the damage on one of these heroes to finish him off? Maureen actually trying to Burrow Strike into things, runs into all of OG. All 5 of them in this bottom lane. And OG just keeping that pace up. Exactly what you would expect from them with the BZM Invoker and the Tomato Monkey King. These guys are gonna get aggressive. Turn around Doom, and the damage from Seb might just tick out the gyrocopters. Yeah, he's gonna die the Doom, and Whisper hides himself away. Snake King can't get the kill, and Whisper gets the double.
Huge turnaround from Whisper. This guy is just so good at recognizing situations, even if you're low, that the enemy's overextended. He gets the punish with the Doom, and now Tomato straight into mid. Falcons crumbling across the map, a 4-man wipe across 3 lanes.
OG just breaking Falcons' ankles. Moving around the map too fast for them to be able to keep up, but they're going to do it again here with the Vendetta set up. It's too easy for OG to guarantee both of these kills.
Falcons in trouble right now. I mean, they're just bleeding out a lot of net worth they built up off that laning phase.
Very problematic for the gyrocopter, right? Because this gyro IO combination is so dependent on sustain, right? The healing that the eye gives you, the satanic buildup they eventually get, the Doom is just an antithesis to all of that.
You're gonna have a Vessel here as well. So you're gonna have 2 cores with a lot of anti-healing. Oh, that was very greedy.
It was indeed. Tomato, his aggression plays against him this time around. Whisper shows up with his Blink Dagger. Hits crit, doesn't get the initiation he's looking for. Ari's stuck in the middle of nowhere here, and he's gonna burn out underneath the sandstorm unless a cookie can save him. Missile's on its way as well, but it looks like Seb should be able to deal with that. The Burrow Strike doesn't quite land onto BZM. BZM throwing out the ice path, but look at crit going in with the stolen jump from the Monkey King. And the help of Snake King's relocate, they do collect finally on that support kill.
Another instance where you just walk off that Doom as well.
The Vendetta set up with the kisses and the Sunstrike and Tomato's Boundless Strike will all come together deep on the side of Falcon's base to catch Snake King and Skeeter sleeping.
How'd they all get there?
They are just too mobile, man. And the tornado from the side from BZM hits on 2. What is this OG team doing? They are overwhelming Falcons right outside of their base. This is insane kind of play from OG right now.
Man, Ari has been on point with this Nyx.
Mamar, he is a slow hero. And he's not making it back to his tower quite fast enough. Snake King's now here with a bit of heal. BZM was there from behind, but because Maureen showed up, he's keeping his distance a little bit. Throws out the EMP. Maureen trying to make his way out of this one with the vessel on him. The cold snap, the swap goes out from Amar, bailing out Maureen, but now he's going to be the target. Hit by a tornado. Cookie goes forward, stunning up the Venge and getting the kill. Now Tomato hits him with the boundless strike, and Crit blows apart. This Doom in deep though. Whisper taking a healthy amount of damage as the Glyph goes out for the tier 2, getting that multi-shot, but the real shots are coming in from Tomato with the Wukong's command that will finish off the gyrocopter. And now Maureen, he wants the punish on Tomato, tries to hit with the stinger, doesn't get it. Tomato hopping back in. You madman, Tomato. That was just an insanely aggressive play. Unnecessary, my man.
Anything you get up here to reduce it is going to pay dividends in spades, as the pipe is just being rushed here by Whisper and OG. Need I say it, they will not give Falcons any breathing room.
Nice two-man burrow strike as a response, though, from Maureen with the stinger doing heavy damage. Two heroes are almost dead already. Maureen taking a lot, though, from the kisses. Swap will bear him a little bit of time here as Amar pushes forward.
IO buyback. Snakey wants to chase and catch here.
And OG full retreat with the extra numbers after losing their Invoker and a buyback on the IO. Everybody trying to get out. Ari's a bit low. Ari's going to try and punish it. He hits him. Now Whisper jumping back in with Tomato. A beautiful jump. Skeeter's low. They bought back at an IO for this. Skeeter, he's going to get slowed down as again Tomato is able to hop onto him just a bit more. And Ari trying to set up the impale. A cookie lands. He'll go for snaking. And the shard pushes him on the other side of the gyro to wipe him out to OG. Play together, slay together. That's all they're doing right now.
Unless you get the swap on him.
Now they hit something. Sapphire. Immediately, a Doom goes out onto the Sand King underneath Sandstorm. So he's dead, but maybe the rest of the team can still come in from Falcons. No, they give up on this, and now they're going to be punished. Zari came in right time. Hit him with the Impale onto, swap out, goes on to Skeeter. OG wants the kill on the carry, and they're going to get it too. They've got the spike carapace to slow him down, and they've got the mobility. The Heroes Whisper trying to do some body blocking, but Skeeter doesn't even try to run. He knows he's caught. He knows he's dead. And it might just be Amar who's going to be the last one down, and Aghanim Scepter, his illusion won't even survive long enough to be able to get the kill on the Snapfire. They get wiped.
I mean, honestly, I'm almost never one to advocate skipping BKB in these games versus all Magic heroes, but if there were a game for it, you might be so far ahead here, you could just go some crazy glass cannon Daedalus or something.
Take the remaining tier 2 before they take that venture up there. Immediate punish. Tomato goes up to the high ground, still hits 3 on the boundless strike. He got off the Wukong's command. They couldn't kill him. Now he's inside of his Wukong's command, and there's nothing they can do about it. The 2 supports will die as OG flood the battlefield with heroes, running over multiple Falcons members. They're going to get 4 at the end of it, with the illusion of the Venge dying as well.
Off raw aggression from OG, and I think the high ground was difficult, but not when the Venge is dead. Still have Aegis on this monkey. There's your big epicenter combo.
A one-man attempt from Maureen to hold the ground, but it's not good enough. He had no damage back up. He literally just used the full Sand King kit, and there was nothing else. And he brought some heroes down to half, and that's about it. A swap back on Tomato will actually lead to the Aegis expiring here. They deal with the second life. Okay, Maureen's going to buy back. They're going to hit him with the instant stuns, chain him up right next to the fountain. That could be good enough, unless a boundless strike can get him away. Tomato, a hop away to the trees. He's out.
Man, this shard has done so much work on the offensive and the defensive end.
Had a pretty good zinger. Something about winning TIs the Falcons haven't done yet. OG. A blast on Amar. Amar looking for a swap, but it's not looking good. He's walking back into a Wukong's command setup from Tomato. He goes for the swap to the right-hand side, but still dies. He has his illusion to play with, but no targets for the immediate pickoff. Looks for Tomato. Tomato pops out of the trees real quick. Doesn't want to get isolated again. Even if he survived last time, it was still a bit of a close call without BKB.
And you gotta swap somebody in here.
It's your only option at this point. Hits the burrow strike only on 1. Maureen right in the middle, just hoping the Sandstorm will do enough, but he gets blown up too quickly. The damage is overwhelming from OG at this point. And with a dieback, a GG is called. Falcons, 6-game win streak, brought low immediately by a just immensely aggressive OG, man.
Why Brewmaster? I guess, okay, I think I know what's happening here. I think they're just trying to make their 5-man ball really freaking strong in the mid game. You have like good tower defense of your own, insane team fight, like the Mar hero, the Malrine hero, these Primal Beast Timber Saws, they're low cooldown, dive, aggression.
My feeling on this hero has not been super hot. I think a lot of these games, it feels as though Brew is just a worse aura carrier than some of these other big meaty boys.
Have you been watching a lot of Liquid games?
No, I wouldn't pull them out of the hat necessarily, but
We said in that last game, frankly, Venge, it's just not him. It's just not. It's not the personality of the player, and I was not a big fan of it. We'll see now that he's back in his comfort zone, what kind of havoc he can wreak on OG as Ari's going to find himself being wrecked as the support rotation comes down, trying to punish this constant pulling that he's doing. I do
put
wonder,
a lot of weight on the other two cores.
What happens if Ari, who's sacrificing a decent amount of his experience, like what happens if their wisdom room gets stolen away? Or they don't manage to get kills like this, which BCM making the rotation helps them get a support kill. That goes a long ways. We saw Ari was able to get a lot of experience in a very brief period of time thanks to all the kills that OG was racking up. But I do wonder if there's a point to Motto. Yeah, he's kind of just stuck. Never-ending damage between Amar and Malrine.
Reddit. Falcons can bring numbers and go on this Sand King. This is not an impenetrable defense when you have somebody as tanky as this Timbersaw with double bracer and reactive armor build-up.
OG also has a little bit of numbers. Seb is going to come across and try and help out. They're diving for BZM. They'll get their claws on him. The Primal Beast starts slamming him down, and the Whirling Death makes short work of that Sand King HP. And Whisper's even going to be frostbitten and run down the top lane. So the lane's going very well for Falcons now as they start moving their cores around a little bit and are demolishing OG on the kills.
Falcons a little slow to defend it.
It was a good choice by Tomato. Being pushed out of his safe lane, he says, okay, if the Timbersaw's just going to be AFK there, Morphling's probably the #1 carry for... Yeah, why is Falcons not being as aggressive? I would have expected the Primal Beast just be looking for any fight.
Yeah, I feel like Malrine could have just rotated these towers. Maybe they're afraid of the Brew 6 right now, but this is just going to be another Maiden death. It's a third death for Snake King.
You know what the funny part, I've never thought about this, but Crystal Maiden is incentivized to go to the jungle because of Frostbite.
And Seb's just been farming, man. He already has mech up level 6, Hand to God online. That Hurricane did not do him any favors there.
Barely bumps into a Malrine.
Wow,
catches up to Seb, gets that quick kill.
Incredibly unlucky.
As both seem pretty content to just give up potential objectives and get the occasional kill here. Damage going out on Malrine. Can handle it, seems. Will be able to get the burst on Ari before he goes, though, thanks to the help of crit from the long-range shot. But it is the Brewmaster ultimate that still remains the dominant team fight mechanism and something that Falcons can't really fight into.
And we saw like the one aggressive move mid for Malrine that backfired, so maybe he's a little tentative. He's going to try and make a similar one mid. It's just not a hero you can burst down.
Snaking walks a bit close to the Morphling. Immediately gets frostbitten. That was quite the misstep there from Snaking.
See, again, just kind of a forced move. Still looking around this mid lane that has been a problem for them to push in and get information off of. Oh, the channel.
He's gonna go for it. Blowing up the Hoodwink immediately and got the slowdown on Snaking as well. So both supports will be run down. And while they weren't in the best map position, they're getting there now.
This is fast enough.
Yep, they'll be here to stop it.
Missing heroes.
Now BZM doesn't want to leave a Sandstorm. Malrine coming in from behind, actually gets a grab onto Tomato. Now he's morphing into Strength, so it's not going to be a fast kill they were hoping for, but they'll get the collection on Seb after a bit of mech action. Whisper charging in. They do manage to hit the Burrow Strike on a crit with a Primal Split. They'll easily run down that 4 position. And the Sand King hasn't taken much damage yet underneath both the Chakram and the Freezing Field. He's proven to be quite tanky. Another Whirling Death. A Burrow Strike lands on the 2 of them. Not too bad despite Carapace gets some additional stuns. Malrine's still strong enough to keep tromping forward though. Tomato is run out of damage. He's going to have to more strength. Waveform farther away. He's out of mana here. And he's going to have to hope that Timber Chains will get him far enough away from this situation, but I think he's kind of stuck. At the end of the day, Malrine and Skeeter were able to just kind of push through that team fight.
Looking for anything they can find on the map, crossing it with off the smoke, looking for some stragglers.
They're going to run into the Nyx Assassin. So now it's Falcons who are doing the 5-manning across the map.
I do wonder if it'll add up at some point, though.
Oh, Maureen gets caught. Trying to TP away. Now, he still has an onslaught, but a TP in from the other side from Ari. He'll provide the stuns for his cores to catch back up and get this kill.
He's a tanky boy.
Count him up. So many auras. Grab on sinking, immediately denied by the adaptive strike. BCM pulled back in by the bushwhack, trying to get away, but he's just stuck in this muck and cannot seem to get out. They got the pick off of the Sand King. The primal split is used though, and Tomato jumps forward to kill the Crystal Main, put some damage back onto Maureen. At half HP, Falcons are able to reset on their cores.
This is a dangerous contest with the amount of AoE from both teams.
TP coming in. Maureen sees it, challenges it. Has to be canceled. He blinks forward, catches the chin instead. OG, they are way too split at this point. BZM might be an interesting spot, but how does the rest of the team follow that?
It's a big component here to the late game team fight for OG if they want to look for it. They'll find Snake King again.
Now Ari is immediately getting jumped on as well. They managed to hit the onslaught on Tomato, so Tomato is quite low. They got him on the scythe as well. Now he's morphed into strength, and he's going to be okay turning into the gyrocopter, but all strength up, those flat-handed chants aren't going to do very enough. BZM's doing a lot with the epicenter, though, and it's whittling away at Skeeter's HP. They'll bring him down the first time.
Can Falcons regroup here? They bought back the Maiden. Second
Jump
life on the
back in
gyro.
from Maureen, and a dive from Amar. They go for Seb. Clean him up. A BKB activated from Skeeter will sound the retreat for OG. His BZM does manage to get the blink out just in time. Whisper is going to be going back into regular form, blinking away immediately. Maureen blinks after them, finds Tomato. Gets a grab on him. He's going to wait for him over to the side, but both Maureen and Amar, very adept heroes at chasing. Looks like he's waveformed up, out of sight, and TP's away successful. We're talking about like 10 plus shots from the Morphling all at once. Ari stopping some of the initiation with a spike hair base, but it's also with his body. That body's gonna get obliterated. What a jump in from BZM though. A big hit, a Burrow Strike that leads Skeeter low. Tomato is struggling to finish him off though. The Satanic heals Skeeter back up to full. Their opportunity to burst down the heroes is lost, and Skeeter is now full up, but Amar is not. And they go back for Skeeter. Now the Satanic is no longer there. It seems that Tomato does have the damage indeed to take down a second life.
Tomato. I mean, just so much getting pumped through here, and they're just throwing all the buffs on him. But still some beautiful stun action from OG is straight back into it.
Real game though. We have a fight on the triangle. Whisper is in trouble. He's already dead. And Seb and Tomato getting on out of here.
Oh, shot him.
Yeah, he's got a little bit more of a second life, but they want the actual second life in the Aegis. Both teams setting up for Roshan.
Oh,
they're going to clash into each other here. Ari's going to break the smoke. Burrow Strike lands in. They get out the primal split. Falcons pretty grouped up, but they have their BKBs, and it seems like they're weathering through the damage decently. Tomato's throwing out those flat-handed shots. Skeeter starts getting low. Where's the Satanic? He's already used it. He's going to die. Used the Satanic early, it seems, and left him with no longevity in the team fight. Spotted Ari. Try and catch up to him. The rocks! The rocks! He hit him.
Yeah.
And he spots him. And he grabs him. And he kills him.
Here, but yeah, I guess that talent.
It's one of the first times I've seen the Tormentor Shard pay off for the Primal Beast.
That was pretty good. I mean, now you really want to land this ultra long pulverize on the Morphling if you can.
Catching up to Seb.
Buyback from the
pick off, perhaps turning into Amar. Amar immediately BKB, TPing out. And we'll be fine here. Whisper, they smoke up to try and get to Whisper. Whisper does have a refresher, pops a primal split. He'll survive. Gyrocopter trying to slow down the push here from OG. Catching up though. Burrow Strike lands onto Skeeter. Skeeter has to pop his BKB. Got the pulverize. No, immediately tornadoed up. So now Tomato is full up as a Gyrocopter, ready to do some flat cannon shots. He just needs something to hit. He starts hitting up. The shots start going over to Skeeter as well with a Vessel on him. On top of that, Amar getting stunned up, unable to move right now, gets a Timberjane across to the side. Whisper gets run down. Chakra running him out of it. Amar trying to stay away from this Morphling. The Morphling goes instead for the Primal Beast. Maureen gets a brief onslaught away. Another Frostbite. Bounce back there with the Lotus Orb. Hit Snake King. They finish up the Primal Beast. And BZM, Ari just continually playing around Tomato, setting him up.
If Falcons can hold here, they might not be too sad with the overall exchange, but they might have to commit the primal buyback.
Oh, two-man burrow strike, immediate buyback from the Primal Beast.
Gotta catch something.
Can they get the punish here? With the Shiva slowing him down, the Chakram also being a nuisance. Onslaught hits onto a couple heroes, immediately grabs the Nyx assassin, blows him up. No stuns, wait, no. He gets got by Amar, who timber chains through to the backline once again, gunning for Zeb like he always has. Pops his BKB at the threat of the Morphling, continues to go for the kill, and they've got the supports, leaving the Morphling for last, who is fully morphed up into strength and has an Aegis. They are ignoring him right now, letting him do whatever, because they want to chase down every other member of OG, and they'll get almost every single one of them. The Primal Beast, or excuse me, the Brewmaster is able to slip away into the night, and Tomato,
go home,
his second life, will be able to BKB TP away.
I think you need a bit more, man. He's got 6k HP with 120 base regen. I wish you luck.
A Scythe, a Force Staff, gets Whisper away. They get the grab onto BZM instead, but Lotus Orb helping to protect him. The two tanky frontliners are dealing with the damage from Tomato right now and trying to put it back onto the Sand King, but that's not quite working. So they start back away, and Tomato is now turned into the Gyrocopter. Got to beware of that flat cannon. And Skater's being a little left alone here inside the river. That's not a good place for him to be. He pops BKB, Satanic gets back up to full. It gets some damage onto Tomato. He has to morph up strength. He's about half. BZM trying to get out of the river. Bull strike away. Amar goes for the chase. Hits a whirling death. Does a lot of damage. Another one's coming up soon. But Amar is losing out on HP a little bit here. It'll be enough to kill the Sand King and chase after Tomato, though. Tomato no longer doing any damage with full-on morph strength. Grab him. Never mind. Onslaught him. Put another Urn Vessel on him. He has to waveform on out. The support's trying to give up their lives. Another rock lands. A bushwhack to combo it up. A tree that set up the timber chain into him, and they get the kill. He all in for a Bloodthorn, and there is no buyback now for Tomato. Another tier 4. No buybacks at all. Backdoor protection. It's not coming up in time. Falcons are going to close out the game 2 and casually kill the Brewmaster while they do it.
What a comeback for them.
Backdoor protection went back up. I think they have the damage to punch through it, but the Sand King's coming back out of play. Maybe they're not going to be able to close this out.
Yeah, what is happening right now?
The creep waves.
The Sandstorm blind?
No longer being there anymore. I mean, the Sandstorm blind is just what they need to be able to hold this one. Falcons have to retreat, and that means they got the tier 4s, but they didn't get the throne. They didn't get any barracks out of this situation either. Whisper saves the game by cutting the creep waves, and the backdoor protection comes in, and the last 5 seconds required to give OG a second chance. Refresher for Amar, even more tankiness as he goes in with that Aghanim Scepter.
So farmed. This might be an all-in push for OG right now because no buybacks.
Get a little pull in here. Lotus Orbs bouncing back a lot of spells, but they're going to take down the Aegis with really not that much committed.
He morphed up too.
Yeah, he's not going to have very much damage. He comes back in, waveforms, puts the Bloodthorn out, meaty BKB from Amar, and he goes back. They focus on the rest of OG. They start looking at BZM. BZM pops his BKB, gets off the epicenter inside of the Sandstorm, but of course these heroes are mobile enough to get away from all that, and they go for the next assassin. Oh, it's Primal Beast a little bit locked up. Burrow Strike hits him. They're trying, but Maureen is so damn tanky. He activates his Aghanim Scepter, just damage goes out. They just cannot do enough to kill a single tanky boy, and there's 2 of them demolishing the fight. That has got to be the game now, as there is no buyback for the Morphling or the Brewmaster. Now Falcons can go and end the game.
The second that Morphling gets stunned without the Aegis, you get hexed up from one of these other cores, you're just gone. Just not enough damage available to OG to get through the front line here.
And just like we saw from Whisper, BZM will try and do the same. Dive outside of the base, kill the creep wave, hope that somehow the backdoor protection will stay up for a minute. It's never going to happen. And the series closes out with Falcons